Hi, my name is Xi-Amaru. I am the CEO of Aboriginal Ministry of Justice, and I will be breaking down the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, article by article. For those of you who are not familiar, it is a document that was adopted back by the United Nations General Assembly in 2007 and aims to protect the rights of Indigenous people around the world. Article 1. Indigenous people have the right to the full enjoyment as a collective or as individuals of all human rights and fundamental freedom as recognized in the Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and international human rights. Here are 4 points we can take away from this article. We have 1. Rights to full enjoyment of human rights. Article 1 of the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People affirms that Indigenous people have the right to enjoy all human rights and fundamental freedoms. This includes the rights recognized in the Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and international human rights law. It emphasized that Indigenous people should not be denied these rights solely based on their Indigenous status. 2. Collective and individual rights. The article recognizes that Indigenous people have the right to enjoy these rights both as a collective and as individuals. It acknowledges the importance of preserving and promoting the collective rights of Indigenous communities, while also ensuring the protection of the individual rights of Indigenous individuals within these communities. Here you can see there is no distinction between these rights being applicable to recognized or unrecognized tribes. They are all applicable to all Indigenous people. 3. International Human Rights Framework. Article 1 establishes a clear connection between the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People and the broader International Human Rights Framework. It underscores the importance of aligning the rights of Indigenous people with existing human rights. It basically, as we can see here, Indigenous people with human rights instruments and principles emphasizing that the rights of Indigenous people should be treated with the same level of importance and respect as other human rights. And 4. Legal protection and recognition. This article serves as a legal basis for the protection and recognition of the rights of all Indigenous peoples. It highlights the obligation of states to respect, promote, and fulfill the rights of Indigenous peoples, including their rights to self-determination and their rights to maintain and develop their distinct identities, cultures, and traditions. It calls for the implementation of measures to ensure that Indigenous people can freely exercise their rights without discrimination or marginalization, which has been a very big issue for Indigenous people all across the world.